Okay, guys, we are live! So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly shop steward today, because today we are carrying on with our ongoing campaign playing Paizo Publishing's outstanding fantasy RPG Pathfinder 2nd edition, soon to be reworked, reforged? Remastered, right. Like it's a track. Again, can't get away from fucking musical episodes. And we're using this to play our ongoing campaign set in the Coalpunk setting of the Spires of Paridar, our Coalpunk setting of cult conspiracy, class disparity, and industrial progress. And with me today are the stars of the Spires of Paridar campaign. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing? First up, we've got Sean.
Hey, playing Golag, son of Doc. He is a orc witch detective.
Nice. It actually sounds less like a lunch product when you say it that way than it does when you have the space between.
Okay, yeah.
Next up is Ingolf.
Hi, I'm Ingolf. I'm playing Basil Rathbone, who is an Isoki detective investigator.
Nice. And last, but certainly not least, is Darren.
Yeah, down here I'm playing Dr. Adam Ersprung, who's got his trusty sidekick, Igor.
Okay. Then I'm going to bring us over to something that will hopefully prompt some memories here. So I will say I did actually spend about 45 minutes working on a map of Dagon the Sea for today, before I realized it's been so long since I've drawn on the computer that there is a smoothing feature that I use that makes the line work look like I don't have, you know, some kind of tremor, because the line work, and it was so fucking jagged, it looks like it was a ransom note that I was putting together. So I do not have a map for the day, but I have started on one, and I've remembered the smoothing feature, and the line work will be better once we're done. But before we launch into the game, what happened, and I should say at the time of recording, it's been about a month or a month and a half since we played last. No, it has been a month and a half because we played Cult on the last session rather than playing that. So what happened last time, guys?
Okay, yeah, looking back through notes, we met up with Morris Watson-Fole, who was helping us do some investigation on a button that we found on one of the sailors' bodies. And he had someone in the university that had done similar to what Golag does, and you know, he's looked into the past of the button, and they said that they saw in a vision an underwater squid-like creature that we assume is the Dark Tide Rider, on the head of a sailor. So that sort of confirmed what we already thought, that the Dark Tide Riders were involved in this, the missing crew from the ship. We met with the insurance company, gave our sort of findings so far, assured them that we're still investigating it, and that we're going to follow up on Dagon the Sea. They did. They showed us some small eggs that they'd recovered from the actual ship. That was quite interesting. They had 2 containers of them, I think, of these eggs. So they've been doing a bit of searching as well. What was Northford Sundries? They reported that some of their staff had gone missing. The ones that worked at the warehouse where these eggs, I think, were being like held, or
Yes, yeah.
So that was another thing. But we pushed on, and we took I think it's a train. Yeah, we took the train to Dagon the Sea.
I think it was a place near there, and you were taking a you took a carriage. You hired a carriage.
Yeah, Melton. That's right. Melton, the driver, took us to Barrington, and then from there we took the train to Dagon the Sea. I think it was Basil that spotted a grumpy farmer on the outskirts, which we haven't investigated, but he looked quite worried, and we didn't really do anything with that yet. We haven't looked into that. We had a quick sort of look around Dag-on-the-Sea for the sort of places of interest before we went to the Bishop's Cottage, which had been named as a potential place where the churchman had disappeared from, or he was staying there, I believe.
Yes.
The priest. So we had dinner there just to see if there was anything that might have come up from that, just investigating the place.
Do you recall the sundial?
Yep. The sundial is a redecorated spire.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
It was like one of those spires in Paridar, and they're using it as sundial.
Yeah, which was, again, odd. One thing we noticed when we were walking around town anywhere, everyone was overly polite, would be the way to sort of describe it. I think everyone would say hello and welcome us to the degree it just seemed too much or just a little strange. And then the last thing, we might have missed a couple of bits there, but the last thing, we went and had a quick look at the church. We noticed that a number of the plaques were missing around the church, which we were investigating or trying to work out what that could mean. The logo itself had loads of barnacles growing on it, which again was strange or suspicious. And then where we left it, the sort of evening was sort of coming, and a strange fog started sort of coming in across the town. And I think we left it with Sally was sort of going into the fog to
I think she was trying to get a
around.
vantage point on the top of because the inn that you're staying at is the Shoregate Arms, and it's up kind of at the highest point in the town.
Yep.
And then from there, she can look down.
I think it was Basil was watching from the roof, I believe.
Oh, was it? Okay.
And Sally wanted to sneak out to have a look, so maybe that's exactly what she did.
And I was just sitting outside of our accommodation or the inn, just to listen out in case anyone got into any sort of difficulty. I could be able to
Just
respond.
for Sean, so that was not the logo, it was the holy symbol of the church. So someone put barnacles on the holy symbol. It's not like, so it's
All right.
obviously not a deformation in a sense, because it seemed like they were put there and they stayed there. So maybe the priest even put them there. And those priest was also made a little bit suspicious. We talked about him but not with him, and he seemed quite a bit odd. And we heard rumors that he was teaching some strange version of the of what the heavenly host normally preaches. Let me put it this way.
Yeah. There's been no sign of the Inquisitor that was sent out to investigate what was going on out here too. And I think that's everything. So why don't we do this? We're going to add a little bit of a little, not a retcon, but we'll add something on to the where we left things. Dr. Ersprung, you are sitting outside, and what you can hear from down the hill is the distinctive sound of the wheezing horn that Golag has on his horseless carriage. And you, I think, knew that he was he had disappeared shortly before. Oh yes, do you want to talk about that too, Ingolf or Basil?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention. So we were made aware of a keep or an old castle that seems to have fallen into the sea, and it was also something that was depicted in the church. So it seems to be relevant in some way. Oh. we don't know exactly what and why, but yeah, well, we'll see.
I think we did ask about it in Yin, and everyone just said nothing of interest there. It's
Yeah.
it's just gone under the sea. No one goes there, so they sort of just moved on. They didn't really want to talk about it. Was the feeling I got.
It's kind of like the opposite of Sebastian's song from Little Mermaid.
Yeah, someone.
I mean, nothing but musical references today. Then, what do you guys? So you hear, I guess, Dr. Ersprung, there is that wheezing sound of the horn as presumably Golag's vehicle has come rolling into town. It's about 2 blocks downhill is likely where he is to be, and the fog hasn't fully rolled in yet. So if you from your vantage, if you can look down the street down the hill, you can maybe see him, his goggles on, the scarf flying behind him as he sort of like circles the center square, kind of looking for partly I imagine a place to park, and also partly trying to see if he can find you guys.
Yeah, I'll try and
that was
give him a
implied.
wave.
Golag. It was implied he was dashing looking.
Yeah, I should try and wave him down, or try and get his attention.
Why don't you give us a perception check? Let's see what you picked up as you were making your way into town. It's almost as if like starting with a perception check is a customary thing in every role-playing game now.
Absolutely. Let's see. My first Paridar roll in a while. I'm kind of excited.
Nice.
Let's see.
There you go. No pressure.
All right. Yeah. There you go.
There you go. Is that not
strong
20?
start?
Oh, very good. All right, so you can, as you sort of circle around, what you can see is Dr. Ersprung has stood up, and about 2 blocks up, further up the hill, on a maybe like the hill itself is maybe like 25, 30 degrees, so it's a pretty good incline. It's not 45 degrees, but you certainly wouldn't want to be driving down that in the winter, for instance. And from what you can see, like to your right, as you're making your way around Dagon the Sea, the sea is almost completely shrouded in mist, as if it's this fog is coming in to engulf the town. You have heard about that being the case, like it is in Paridar in the evenings, but even more so, it seems. So what do you do?
And I see the good doctor waving.
Yep, doctor is at the top of that hill, and he's waving at you.
I think I probably got a little too much speed, so I'm a little skidding as I and I'm, suddenly retargeting for to stop before him.
So you'll have to go up the hill first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So
okay.
Yui, pull a Yui.
Yeah, and you carry forward. It takes a little bit. I imagine that there's a little bit of skidding from your wheels as you over enthusiastically hit the throttle to get forward on the cobblestones that make up the road, but you're able to make your way up to the top, go, and come to a stop outside of a place called the Shoregate Arms. Now, you also can, as you pass by, you can see the church that the guys have described, and outside there is the starburst kind of symbol for the Church of the Heavenly Host, and what either it has really been, there's a couple of possibilities here. Either someone has intentionally defaced this thing, they have definitely let it go to decrepitude, but none of the rest of the church is really like that. Or 3, the fog might be thicker than you think, because how the hell do barnacles grow on the surface of a building? But that's what you kind of notice as you're making your way up the hill. You're trying to keep yourself focused to not hit Dr. Ersprung, and to be able to bring the vehicle successfully to the top of the hill without overshooting. You bring the vehicle to a halt. I think, Basil, as you're sort of getting yourself up, you can hear the distinctive sound of both the engine and the horn, and of course Golag's boisterous greeting for Dr. Ersprung, I imagine.
Yeah, he's in a good mood. He feels like the mist is rolling in to greet him. even, and says, taking a hand off the wheel ill-advisedly to with the big wave, and maybe
wobbles back and forth.
the scarf in my face a little, and good doctor, and kind of skid a little bit, but get it back under control and come to a stop, trying to act like it's completely on purpose, everything, and spring down onto the ground next to the good doctor.
Okay. It appears that Dr. Ersprung has left his valet inside. Dr. Ersprung is staying on the ground floor of the arms, and Basil, I believe, is on the second floor along with Sally. None of the rooms are together, unfortunately. What happens next, guys? You could, I think with a roll that good, you can also see Basil kind of pokes his head off from... Why is Basil on the roof?
Yeah. I think I might start to climb down just in order to greet the boss.
Okay. You need not make a roll for that. So you're able to scramble down. Be a pretty heroic death, right? Fall breaks his neck. Trying to
and the session
with the
goes
boss.
into a different direction as Basil dies before me trying to get down. Well, I have finally arrived. You two staying busy, I see.
Of course, we are here to investigate. So investigating we shall.
Have you cracked it? I say with a chuckle.
Sally is on the case. She is already working.
Excellent. Is it always this foggy?
No. The fog came with you.
Came to greet me. Well, what is the current... I clap my hands together. I take off my gloves, put them under my arm, clap my hands together with investigatory glee, say, what is our focus?
Find out what's going on here. And maybe I try to lower my voice. Investigate the church.
Does it seem to be the oddities, or a focus of the oddities are there then?
The church and the keep and the sundial, I think, seem to be the three places of interest.
And tell me about the sundial. Had we heard about that before? Because that's new, isn't it? Or am I?
Yeah, it seems to be so. This village seems to be older, and it has one of those spires, like Paridar has so many. And they turned this spire into a sundial.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about that,
seems to be part of...
you realized, like you circled around it when you were trying to find them, and it didn't register to you like, oh, it's not an obelisk, it's one of the identical to the spires in Paridar.
And it seems to be part of the mystery then.
But you remember what we found out about the spires and all these blossoms and so on, and I leave it with that.
All right. Let's see.
It's a point of interest.
And the bountiful last fishing season, I believe, right? That's a standout of a declining dried up town, suddenly bountiful, seems almost suspiciously so, if I recall.
Yes.
Prior conversations of ours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're working overtime. They're working overtime on producing these. Was it canned? It was canned fish, was it?
There is a cannery in town as well to account for it, and apparently there's an excess than what they can supply to their relatively new built cannery, even.
Yeah, they can't.
I mean, we could investigate there as well, but I suppose that we should just try to find out what we can find out within the town before we go somewhere else.
Well, lead the way, gentlemen. Let's right to it then. Should I leave my coach here? Where's the best place? Does the hotel have, or the lodge have parking? Is there a valet? I don't know if that's a thing. Is there a young lad to take?
If you go there is not. If you head inside, you can meet the proprietress. But from what she told the guys, there were only the 3 rooms left available, so you may be forced to bunk with somebody.
Egads. Well, sacrifices must be made, I suppose.
I mean, you could stay at another location. I imagine they may have rooms at the Bishop's College Tavern.
I'm pretty sure
you won't go there. No. You stay here. Stay here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was actually warned. Yeah, I was warned off that one. That was the one that the Church Inquisitors stayed at and was never heard from again. There was an inference there, I recall, I was told.
Well, I'm sure it's because he clearly solved the mystery and then just retired and never had to go back to the church again, right? Like that's
great point.
The only reasonable explanation for why someone would go missing in a town with a bunch of bizarre religious beliefs. Or unconventional religious beliefs, at least.
Yeah, something is fishy here, yeah.
That is definitely the aroma. You placed it now. That having a cannery in town definitely does not help with the washing away the smell of the harbor.
Indeed.
So,
well, since
I would definitely lower my voice even more. So go like we wanted to have a break-in into the church, but in order to do that, we must be a little bit quiet and not too suspicious.
All right. So, Golak feels like he's missing something. Like, okay, yes. So where should I put my coach?
Yeah.
I mean, there would be probably not a garage, but whatever. I honestly don't know what a carriage is put in. If you call it a stable or if you call it a garage. Yeah, there will be something like that, though, because like carriages are not unheard of here. It is unusual for you to do that, but you can find some place nearby where you can pay somebody to have it stopped. You could leave it on the street as well, but this place is not really designed to accommodate, 2 things going by. So the horse-drawn carriages aren't quite as maneuverable as what yours are. So if you want to get yours dinged up by somebody, parking on the street might cause you problems.
Yeah, let me deal with the coach, and then you two can lead on, and I'll hop back in.
Okay.
And be back in a jiff.
So as you go and you find it's probably about a block away, there is a empty yard where the people here seem extremely friendly. Nope. Anna says there's something suspicious about that. I'm sure it's fine, honey. I don't know. They say that they're quite happy to do that. They insist on not taking any money for you to be able to park in this, in this lot next to one of the houses. They, they ask a little bit about what what's your business here? What are you staying? Are you planning on going to the spa?
Oh, surely I would think I could not possibly miss out on the spa while being in your fine town. I'd never been here but heard so much, so I finally couldn't help myself but to check it out with some friends.
They say they have not been themselves, but they have heard it is both relaxing and illuminating.
My gracious, better than I imagined. I will surely stop by there. Thank you so much.
You are most welcome. And by the time you get back, the fog is to the point where you can only see maybe 20 feet in front of you. So you return. Adam and Basil, anything you guys wish to do while Golag is finding his... It's probably 20 minutes for him to find the lot, talk to the person, and make his way back?
No, not really.
I think we're just going to continue to investigate the church, so we'll probably just be discussing that between us.
Okay.
Yeah. But we can't take Igor, I suppose.
Well, I think I'll have to hang back regardless. Because
So one of the things we've been trying in our Kingmaker campaign is having everyone make, if there's a group skill challenge, rather than fishing for like successes or fails or whatnot, we take the median. So we have everybody roll. We take the middle roll. That's the roll for the group. That way, you know, people who are overly good aren't going to be like making everybody succeed. People who are overly bad aren't going to make everyone fail. But it gives you a middle ground for what to work with. Plus, you can make decisions on, you know, hero points spend so on a 1-by-1 basis. So you might be able to bump that median up or whatever. That might not, I mean, we'll see how that works, but that seemed to work pretty well in our Kingmaker session, especially with, I mean, unless we just want to say that you're always going to fail when you bring someone who sucks at stealth, and I don't think that's a lot of fun, nor is it really true to kind of any of this type of fiction. So Jessica Fletcher, I don't think, had a lot of levels in stealth, and she was still able to sneak around places.
So I have no problems with Dr. Ersprung walking with us, but I think this rather loud robot of his, that would be a little bit break of immersion.
Well, he would also be rolling a separate one, which would push the median down, I imagine.
Well, to be honest, it's the opposite. Igor is way stealthier than Dr. Ersprung. You know, Igor's got 12 stealth.
So we were always
got
imagining
zero.
that Igor made all the noise, but it was you all the time.
Yeah. I always blamed it on Igor.
He has his loose, you know, on his back, there's a couple of loose symbols. His pockets are full of, you know, marbles that are loosely attached to one. And,
hole in the trousers. That's
yeah.
all the classics.
Everyone gets a hero point, by the way. And what... once you return, Golag, oh my gosh, I have some tragic news. Golag, you've had to carry your own bags.
Into a room that's already occupied. It's all.
Well, I mean, you guys will have to go
sacrifices.
back into the inn to sort out whether that is possible or not.
I probably I might have looked at them briefly. Whoever waved me with far too much friendliness into the lot, I might have looked at them like they may have taken, you know, like, you're going to grab my bags, and they probably, you know, didn't. And I look around. These small villages. And you know, fine. And grab my bags and heave to.
How much did you bring with you, by the way? Is this a steamer trunk vacation, or is this a, you know, weekend bag vacation? For Golag, I guess.
I mean, it's got a little bit of a steamer trunk feel.
So, Golag, you guys, I think, Basil, because of your keen hearing, you hear kind of a clunk at one point, and when you look out, Golag is not, you know, he's. I think your strength is like 14 or 15 or something like that, isn't it?
Let's see. 14.
14, yeah. So like he's quite strong, but he's also not a man known to pack lightly, and I expect he was anticipating Igor making all the carrying. So he has been carrying this thing down the block and kind of puts it down for a second. You can hear muttering, but can't quite make out the words, and then it's up again, and he comes walking in. It's not so much that this stuff is, I imagine, too heavy for you, Golag. It's the indignity of having to lug this trunk that's covered in, you know, the dust from the road and whatnot, and then with the humidity of the night air coming in too, you've effectively just smeared mud all over the front of your shirt by using your body to help carry this thing. So it is a displeased orc who comes walking over to where you guys are waiting.
So maybe I'm going to talk to the lady and try to explain that this is maybe my boss, and he needs the room I'm in, and maybe there's a smaller room or somewhere I could lodge or something.
Oh, you were open to have a room for yourself in addition to your boss then?
If possible, I mean, I could take a smaller room. I'm a smaller person, so.
Oh, I can see that, sir, but I don't see. I'm afraid we've got everything here. I can send me boy down to ask at the bishop's cottage, if you like. They might have room still. Mind, they're not as nice as ours, but
yeah, I see. I think I should do that. But you see, it is very foggy, and maybe it's okay if I stay the night at I don't know. Has to be some kind of commoner room or something. I could maybe sit in a chair.
We haven't got a common room like that, sir. But what we could, I might be able to, as you say, you're not a titan among men. I might be able to find you something small to sleep on. And
yes,
if either your boss or one of your other colleagues, doesn't matter, sharing a room with you.
Yes, that would be perfectly fine. Thank you.
There will be a nominal fee for an increased residence.
Of course. Yeah.
Good.
So, and I point to Golak. He will surely pay that.
And the door kind of comes open with him carrying this. Oh, Lord me. Have you been carrying that yourself, sir?
Yes, and I think that in all the confusion of this fine establishment, forgetting to get my bags, my goggles are still on, like oddly and askew, and they're fogged up from all my breathing and
the
whatnot.
stuff outside. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You, sir.
I seem to have missed your bellhop somewhere.
A bellhop? Well, aren't you fancy, sir? I'm sure that your little friend here can show you to where the room is. You still have your key.
Yeah. So,
then,
Golak, I already have the key to your room.
Oh.
But I look at the maybe massive luggage he has, but I can't help you with that.
I think it's at this stage. I will send Igor in after having his bit of entertainment. The doctor will have.
So you'll have to go back to your room and get. Well, the trouble being, sir, is that if I'm not certain I'd risk our stairs with your contraption. If you take my.
Yes, good point. Sorry, Golak.
I am sorry, sir.
Confusion because the plan cannot possibly be for me to carry my trunk up these stairs by myself. That just isn't. I know that's not what we're talking about. So he's looking around for, like, at the very least there has to be someone to take the other end of this thing. And he probably mutters that. Inside voice, outside voice.
Well, I love the image of him also trying to like wipe his goggles off with his hand, but can't do it because of the size of the trunk.
Yeah. He's checking around the lobby, to really just even deputize some perfect stranger into grabbing the other end of this thing.
And no one else inside apart from this relatively small human woman. Basil and Dr. Earthsprung do not seem to be seizing to your or jumping to your aid, and Basil seems to be making his way up the stairs towards your room.
I say to her, do you have any young lads that wouldn't mind earning a coin?
You mean for... No, sir, I'm afraid you're going to have to move that up yourself. We haven't got any bellops here.
The doctor will step in. He'll assist.
Oh, I see. You've got your... I see. I understand. Your employees are most helpful, sir.
And right before that, I think I switched into, just a little bit of timing and courtesy, I switch into Orcish for my deepest curses as I start losing my decorum. But good. Switching back. You're very good. Thank you, Doctor.
As you are making, your way up, I think Basil, you would have gone upstairs already, so she watches you guys make your way up the stairs as you navigate, this thing up. Between the two of you, there's no difficulty moving it. And when you're shown your room, it's not big, it's not elaborate whatsoever, but it is perfectly nice. Unfortunately, it is almost completely white outside because of the fog that has rolled in. It is like this would give the thickest of nights of fog in Paridar a run for its money.
Let's see. The good doctor is helping, and Basil went to. Where did Basil go? Did I see?
Basil let you
I
into the room.
opened your door. I let you into the room.
Very good. Well, I was given as I'm huffing a bit, getting my trunk into the room. I say to them, yes, I was given a little sales pitch for the spa of the town. Have you heard much about that?
Not so much, no. I think we were asked to visit it, yes, but we were not very keen on that.
What was the phrase, Kevin? It was insightful and...
it was relaxing and... was it insightful? I can't remember.
Something, in that direction, anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Illuminating, was that it?
Illuminating.
Okay.
A bit too much attention from a perfect stranger, and yet, as you said, a little over-friendly here, and yet didn't offer to carry my trunk, which was off-putting. But
I imagine the trunk is big enough for me to actually use it as a bed, maybe. So, Golek, because we have no rooms, would you mind me sleeping in your trunk?
Yes. I mean, it makes sense for us to share a room since you are the most diminutive in size. I think that it's quite logical. I think as long as we're going to be roughing it that much, we might as well. That's a good plan.
Yeah. Okay.
Let no one say that every sacrifice is on the table for the Illuminators.
Yeah.
Okay. So it takes you probably about half an hour to get settled, to get things unpacked, get yourself in there. Golag realizes he still has not eaten yet tonight either.
The outrages are just stacking. Yes, does this place have a kitchen? Hope.
I think you guys had to go down to the bishop's. Oh no, there is. I'm trying to remember. You guys, I think, chose to go down to the bishop's cottage for food, but there is food here as well.
Yeah.
Before that, I'm going to have a look around the room, since we're here on a certain purpose.
So this is actually interesting. Basil, what have you set up so far? Because you expected to be staying in here on your own. I'm curious what Basil's, hotel hobbies or habits would be.
Yeah, I think maybe so. He has a pile of notebooks, and he has some paper, and maybe he even has some kind of foldable screen he could use to pin certain papers there, because you could have an idea.
Yeah.
For a connection.
Well, and key stuff like armor class and initiative counts and I may be thinking of a different kind of screen. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe then so like a little bit what you would expect, like maybe a detective kit or something like that, to have some fingerprints or whatever the equivalent in Paridar is.
Can.
And that's basically everything, and a little bit of clothes and whatever you would normally have with you. But I think it's very, 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 very neatly placed, because he's always expecting to be on the run soon.
But I'll probably reflect on the investigatory materials, saying, "Oh yes, quite so, and then look at the small amount of clothes. And so you didn't bring much, as I open my huge trunk and all sorts of nonsense in there. Yeah,
smaller cases come out there too. The shaving kit,
right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to change. Obviously, I'm not going to go down there a complete wreck like I am now, and start laying out some clothes. And I'll have a bit of a look around the room also, just to if this is I am reviewing my feats and trying to refresh myself. If I see anything that's suspicious, I'm sure that Basil probably would have already noticed. But if there's anything in the ceiling, the carving, since we are here for a specific purpose,
what's your occultism modifier? Your total bonus.
Occultism. Okay. Let's see.
Unlike Basil, I did not keep track of important stuff on my screen.
14?
14, okay. So you are, let me check the difficulty. Come on. Okay. So you take a quick, kind of look around to see if there is anything. There isn't really, as far as you can tell. Like Basil, it doesn't sound like has set up any kind of folk charms or anything like that, and you don't notice anything untoward about this. Although you probably will want to get probably in daylight because of the thickness of the fog, but you may want to get another look at that some of the stained glass on that church, because it seemed unusual. Definitely not the kind of thing you typically see in a Church of the Heavenly Host. That's not unusual necessarily for some of these smaller towns where they, have folk saints or something similar, or local saints, I should say, that are something similar, where folk traditions have been sort of folded into the Church of the Heavenly Hosts beliefs, for locals at least. But there definitely was something unusual about that. But here, nothing unusual, except for an impatient Yosoki.
Basil, remind me, when I wrote in, there was something about that glass at the church that I would like to spend a little more time on when we have a little daylight. This fog perhaps burns off in the morning.
When we were at the church, we noticed that the windows were new, so they replaced some of the old windows, maybe for a reason.
Interesting. It strikes me.
I would guess that the church is, I don't know, a couple of centuries old, and I think the windows were quite new. So
I could be wrong, but it strikes me that windows like that are commonly a bit of an artwork, and requiring resources that a small town like this would be hard pressed to replace easily. So yeah, it seems like there would be probably good reason if they did so, not just a redecorating. So worth our inquiry, as you say.
Yeah. So I think if you just grab something to eat, and then we'll wait a little bit farther into the night, and then maybe go at 2 or 3 in the early night, go there and visit the church, and try to get in there, because it was locked with a surprisingly new lock.
Oh, interesting. Plot thickens. Well, and did you say you had a chat with the priest? I can't recall.
No.
Okay. Have you seen him? Have you seen him about or anything?
Not as far as I remember.
Very good. And I'm changing while I am chatting, putting on a new tunic and whatnot, frowning at my soiled prior one, and putting it into that special trunk pocket for the dirty clothes.
Yeah.
Or maybe hanging it. I probably hang it and say, Basil, have you I don't know if you've gotten word on their cleaning service here.
It is a vacation town, so it is likely that there would be some, what do you call it? Some services.
Mm-hmm. Basil, you think I just hang it on the outside of the door and they come by and pick it up?
You may want to speak to the proprietress.
Yes, I would say so much.
Basil, speaking of, while you're talking to Dr. Ersprung, are you in the room as well?
Is the room big enough?
It's not going to be comfortable, but there's enough. I mean, with three of you in there, you're not going to be moving around easily. You have to be stepping around one another. But
I think he'd be hanging in the doorway, sort of like, well, shouldn't we get on with the investigating, sort of?
So you're
just
leaving the door
waiting.
open while you discuss the investigation and the unusual.
He would say, "Are we heading out?" And if they want to discuss it more, he'd step in and shut the door.
I'm asking about the discussion that's had thus far. Like I'm
right.
Yeah, because if you, what I imagined was that you would have stepped in and closed the door.
If they'd started discussing it, then he would have definitely, yeah.
Okay, so then it's at that point that Basil, you actually hear a creaking from outside the door. Someone is standing there and seems to have shifted their weight.
Yeah, maybe I could rush to the door and open it.
Okay. It's the proprietress. Forgive me, sir. I was just going to knock on the door and see if I had noticed that you're. You've changed, sir. I noticed that you had some stuff on your front when you came in. I wanted to see if you wanted to get that laundered. Basil, she's absolutely fucking lying, and her hands were nowhere near knocking on the door when you opened it.
Yeah. Could you just because we were talking about the spa, have you is it a place to recommend visiting?
The spa? Yes, of course, sir. The spa is a very nice place. Is that what's brought you here then? Is this the spa? I thought you said you had other business here.
Yeah, so there were two places of interest that were recommended to us, which your village is famous for, even to the town of Paridar itself. One is this excellent spa, which is recommended to all people with certain illnesses, but also there is this very interesting sunken keep we keep hearing about in the town.
Oh, I don't know who's told you about that, sir, but there's nothing of interest to be found there. I'm certain. Danger, in fact, and not of the fun sort, I would say. The spa, most definitely, is something that you would want to inquire. If you'd like, first thing tomorrow morning, I could send over a runner and see about any kind of, if they might give you some options for what you might pursue. Were you open to stay there for treatment or simply to visit?
So I look at the doctor. So Dr. Ursprung here is basically he's treating our patient, and I pointed Golak, who has some illness, and so maybe the visit to the spa is something we could manage tomorrow morning. That's really nice.
Certainly, I'll be sure to do that then, sir.
Yeah.
And I hope you're not doing too poorly, sir. Would you like something warm, then? Is that a doctor? Would that be something appropriate for him?
A warm drink and maybe some food would be very helpful.
And I think maybe Golak is even in a condition where he looks like...
Is he able to eat food in his state?
Oh, yes. No problem at all.
Certainly.
I fill her arms full of clothes, and then on cue go.
Oh. She kind of holds it up and then kind of holds it away. I imagine that your clothes don't smell like, like a gym sock, but they probably are pretty heavily perfumed, and that is probably her
the mix of sweat and Paridar, day cologne of that you're supposed to in society smell like.
Yeah. She says, I'll have these out tomorrow, sir. laundrette is closed this evening, but we'll have these out for you tomorrow. And I'll see about getting you some food too then. Thank you. And she seems to be very eager and very happy to depart your company. Basil, you most definitely pick up on she was clearly listening at the door. She clearly came up with some cockamamie story about coming and knock about that. And she obviously heard about heard Golag quite loudly pronounce, ask about laundry before you noticed the sound. So, you close the door once again. Basil, you listen for a moment. You are quite confident there is no one else there. But what is...
Can your shadow see in the fog as well, Golak?
It's a canny question, my small friend.
Because I'm pretty sure that even so I can see in the dark, I can't see in this fog because it's blocking my vision.
I don't know that it has that my able shadow has any better ability than you, is my initial...
To see in the... Like, see through fog? Yeah, that'd be like, I think it's tremor sense is probably the sense that allows you to see through that.
Yeah. No, I'm afraid it's like you.
Or, there is a spell called True Sight in other versions of the game. I don't know if there is a True Sight spell in...
He doesn't have
PS2.
that anyway, so...
I just want to make you feel bad. That's all.
I don't know if my visual upgrade would be any assistance.
I think it just grants you dark vision.
Well, it says you can see invisible creatures.
Would
the outline.
Yeah, that would be that would simply allow you to see through the illusory feature. It wouldn't necessarily allow you to see through walls or other obstructing things. Good news. True Seeing is an occult spell. It is a 6th level occult spell. So when you hit level 11, then you'll be able to get True Seeing.
Damn it.
In the next couple of sessions, we're good to go.
No problem. Yeah, we steamroll, start farming some fucking boars, guys. We're going to get there.
Let's kill some creatures to get some XP.
Just a bit of filling out.
Yeah.
All right. So then what... once that has been set aside, or she's been set off the task, she is going to be preparing some food for you. What are you guys intending on doing next? Are you waiting for the food to arrive? Do you have plans?
I would say we wait until later in the night and then try to sneak out and break into the church. Because I think somewhere else in the village might be too complicated. I think the church was pretty obvious where it is. Even if we can't see so much in the fog, we would still know our way there. And everything else might be, yeah.
Is there a dining area, gentlemen, downstairs?
There is, I believe.
Yes.
Well,
I suppose.
Let's eat out in the. Do you think it's a good idea to eat out in the public so we can, if we've discussed, let's finish our discussion. I think we have, but if not, we can do that here, and then go down and perhaps we make an acquaintance, or see what there is to be seen, if anything, as we eat.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So then, what you find is if you make your way down there, she'll meet up with you guys or see you guys from the kitchen area. Mr. Rathbone, Dr. Earthsprung, do you wish any food as well?
Yes, a little bit of cheese would be appropriate.
Yeah,
she holds for a moment trying to see if you're joking. Yeah, of course, sir, of course. And for you, Doctor?
No, I'm fine. I've eaten this evening.
Is it safe for him to be eaten out with everyone else around? There is no one else in the thing here.
Yes.
He's not contagious in any way. Don't worry.
There's no ill humors. Nothing in the air.
No. Everything will be fine. I assure you.
All right. You know of all the things that are in the town that are in the air. All these coal, that is not so good. So he's always coughing a bit.
Oh, I see. I've never heard our ill humors in the air here. It's more, I've heard that those what have it come here and are sick.
Yeah.
And made well by the humors in the air.
Huh.
I am no physician myself, though.
The sea air will do him no harm at all. If anything, it'll be good for him.
And just so I know, too, you haven't got any... you haven't yourself made reservations at a spa?
Nope, none so far. We were not sure whether Golak would arrive today or tomorrow, so we were just waiting for him to come.
I see. Impulsive travelers.
Maybe I look at Golak. Some of us are very busy. So.
Oh, yes. A great deal of business in the city, of course.
I see. Well, here you are, sir. And as she lays out some, it looks like reheated stew and some probably like bread that was cooked earlier in the morning, a pint of beer, and Basil, there is some cheese cut up on a plate for you. Small pieces of fruit.
Delightful. I'm famished.
Good. Well, I hope you enjoy, sir, and I do hope you feel. I hope you are feeling less poorly soon.
Thank you. It's no matter. By the way, is this fog? Is this normal? Does this come in every day?
Oh,
like
yes.
This?
Every evening.
Every evening.
You can be sure of that. We have a saying here: you need not pull your curtains on account of the fog doing it for you. Hey.
Oh, it's gone in the morning, though.
Oh, indeed. First light of day, it'll be burned away. You'll have no difficulty. Beautiful view of the sea you'll have tomorrow.
Well, I look forward to that.
And depending on what time your doctor allows you to get up in the morning, you may see the shipping fleet, the fishing fleet off. Seeing them boats head off into the sea is quite a sight if you haven't seen it before.
I think I would like to catch that. If it's okay with the doctor. I looked over at Dr. Ersprung.
Maybe. We'll see. What time you managed to get your head down tonight?
You aren't expecting any other guests from your party, are you?
No.
All right. Only as we do lock the doors at the evening.
Yeah, that is very, very good. One can never be sure that no ill-meaning persons would come in at night.
No, of course. More to the point, we want to make sure that you're safe and cozy and a peace of mind. Nothing gets you to sleep better than peace of mind, better than a warm cup of milk, I say. Though, if that does help, and she placed something down for you, Dr. Ersprung, in the event you do get a little peckish or want something to wet your whistle, I got that for you as well, Doctor. From one healthcare provider to another, eh?
Very kind.
Well, you enjoy. I'll leave you to it. And she heads back out through the big kind of open, doorway. This only has like this small little side room has maybe like 8 to 10 tables in it, and some of them, they're all sort of set up to be 4-seaters, so that either people can from the rooms can be joining having breakfast with one another. It's not a very big area, but she leaves you here in I'm assuming you guys have all picked a corner kind of table to sit at.
Right, maybe right before she gets away, I'll say, "Oh, madam, by the way, it's splendid that you do such a good business. Is there like a tour in town, or having all your rooms full as such?"
It's a season, sir. Yes, many come out for the spa. Some come to stay for a short time. We've also had many folks out here. We've had to bring in help for the fishers. Things have been so successful, and other communities on the coast here haven't been as fortunate as what we have. Huh. So we have a lot of local boys coming in from nearby, come help out. They flow up here and then head out.
What do the fishermen say as far as their good fortune? Is it just a change of the seas, or what happened for this fortuitous change?
Oh, well, we have a saying around here. You don't question how the hook gets on the fish.
Right. Of course. Yes, I'm sure Paridar has a similar phrase somehow. Well, very good.
Oh,
And
I don't
tear
know
in
it.
my
Clever folk, them
stew.
Paridans.
I'll hit the stew. Oh, and I'll be sensitive, Kevin, to I mean, we haven't seen anyone else, right? It's just been her as far as
No, you
as
passed
long-
by. I think probably what prompts Dr. Ursprung to step inside and close the doors. You probably saw someone step out of one of the other rooms and make their way down the corridor, which prompted you to sort of, step inside, close the doors. You were mindful that, oh yeah, there's other fucking people in this place.
If I'll try to be sensitive that if I see her having a conversation with someone, particularly if she's looking over or something, I will try to make note of that.
So that's a good question. Would you guys want to set the two extremes for this dining, the dining room would likely be one place where you could kind of see the front door and where she would be sitting at the check-in, or you could be the furthest away from there to try and prevent any eavesdropping on her part. What are you guys thinking?
Well, I was going to, if it comes up, I was going to make use with her of my lip reading ability.
Okay.
And so if she has a conversation with someone, I thought I'd glance over to see if she's talking about us.
So
if
you
I
would
can
want to
tell.
be sitting and seeing where she is. It might be difficult there unless she's talking to a guest. You certainly could find a
Okay.
seat like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll prioritize that.
Okay. So then you guys will have to be extra careful about how you're monitoring your tone to avoid
good.
people eavesdropping. I say this as someone with no inside voice, so.
Yeah.
I'll be attacking the stew, so I'll be safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will give a very very important report about the meeting with the insurance company man, without talking about anything that was talked about in this meeting. Just to say that this very important man came and he had something like that. So like it sounds that we are talking business, but without giving out information.
Yeah, that's right. So this is the first you've heard. Is it? Yeah, you haven't played since their meeting with Mr. Parlow, right?
Yeah. And I handed him my report, and I would say, sir, sir, and not sir. So he was very pleased with all the numbers I got for him.
Really? And I don't think Golag has to pretend his interest. He's, Mr. Parlow. Well, sometimes as I've spoken to him, indeed. Well, glad to hear he's pleased.
Yeah.
Adam, or Dr. Ursprung, are you drinking whatever was provided to you?
I want to have a little look, see what it is.
What is your either Arcana or crafting? Or craft, I think.
14.
Okay.
Would be the highest.
So you give a sniff to this as Basil's kind of, nibbling on the cheese and Golag is shoveling the stew back. There's a bit of an odd odor to the milk. It perhaps maybe has gone off. You could give us a medicine roll.
Okay. I shall attempt that. That's
hero
not
point
really
that?
good. Yeah, I'll give that another go.
Oh, it's
I
past
think.
1 o'clock. Everyone gets a hero point, by the way. Look at that.
Righty.
So you smell it and then just ever so gently touch your finger in it, and kind of push it around in your, on your between your thumb and pinky. Very, very subtly, there is a bit of a numbing. Someone has spiked this milk, it seems. And that seems like the perfect place to take our mid-session break. Okay. We'll come back and see what happens next. So for those listening at home, we'll be back momentarily. Okay. Excuse me. So, Golag, you are at one. What's going on here? Check. Okay. There we go. Check. There you go. Check. Sorry, I'm fucking around with the gain once again. Right, what were we going to say?
We can hear you. I just wanted to confirm that we can hear you.
Yeah, I can.
Sorry,
I've been fussing with the gain. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go look back at the stream afterwards. I was seeing for a bit there. It looked like it was picking up some background noise, but I don't have any. I couldn't hear anything, and I wasn't seeing anything. But I don't know what that is. Anyway, all right. So, guys, we left with Dr. Ersprung noticing that there was something unusual about his beverage. What happens next?
I haven't been able to ascertain what it does. It's just some sort of numbing.
I think with the roll, let me see here. I think it. Okay, you are one off from making that a crit. So if someone else wants to use their reaction, you give information to them and they may be able to give you some insight. Remember, AD&D is only a DC 20, which should be, it's getting easier and easier with each level that you guys get. If you can get one more point, that'll be a critical success. So what would you say to try and prompt a reaction to aid another from either of your companions? Or do you just want to see what happens with them?
No, I think I would pass it to Basil and say this seems it smells a little bit funny. I know you've got a good sense of smell. Could you see what you think?
Yeah, Basil, you can offer us a I think a perception check. I don't know if this is part of your investigation per se. But
yeah. The only thing would be if there's something odd that I would recognize or something. There's no feed for me, and so I can use perception, and then I got a +2 bonus from the aid from Dr. Ersprung.
No. You're going to be aiding him.
Oh,
remember,
okay.
One thing I missed was
yes.
Yeah, aid another. There's a reaction.
That would be very okay.
Okay, so all you need is a 20.
Yeah, that could work.
You want to hero point that?
Yes,
okay.
Sure. This is the one time where I don't play the Loxodon and I can't smell so good. That's was actually.
Oh, no. So close.
It didn't work out.
So nothing that nothing you can sense, Basil. But if you look over at Golag, I mean, he's scarfing this stuff down.
I think I'm gonna. I think it's too late to probably stop. But he's got the. I will take a look at the stew and see if I can see any sort.
You still have Golag could do the exact same thing and try and aid another with your roll, or to be that for that matter with Basil's. But both of them need just a +1. So.
Yeah, I'll ask Golag. Does the stew taste all right, Golag?
Golag, you can give us a perception roll if you like.
He can't speak at the moment. His mouth is full.
Stew. Now that's role playing.
Yeah.
Sean went and warmed up some stew just for. You want to hero point that? Okay. There we go. So I think what Golag may say is he may mention that there's a bit of a there's a hint of almost like a certain spice that's in here that he can taste. It's got a kind of a soapy quality to it, not enough to make the stew taste poorly, but there's enough of it to be there, and that's sufficient for you to put together that like this is a sedative. So they have put it is a slow acting, so this is kind of like you're gonna lay down for the bed and you're gonna sleep all night kind of poison. It's not gonna kill you, it's not gonna cause you to fall asleep at the table, but it's a slow acting sedative. So Basil's mostly empty plate and Golag's nearly empty bowl will suggest that both of them are gonna sleep extremely soundly tonight.
And would I say it's too late to stop?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming you brought some medicines with you, so you may be able to put together a counter agent for them.
Okay.
Now we get to play the game of what do they call cure poison in this game?
So if they haven't finished eating, I'll say, I think, gentlemen, that's quite enough eating. I think we maybe should go for an evening stroll.
Yeah.
To, walk off your meal.
I don't know. You know, Golag, after having maybe it's the full belly. Whew, you could really use a lie down right now. Basil, you didn't think that you'd be ready to hit the sack in that steamer trunk, but you know what? It's actually looking it's seeming pretty comfy at this point.
Yes.
So it's not compelling you to do so. There is just a level of fatigue that is kicking in. Why don't you each, Basil and Golag, why don't you give us a fortitude save, please?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, no.
Basil, would you like to hero point that?
Actually, I think it would be cool if he just what is too much, the travel, the fog, the meal.
So his ears, now hold on here. So that means you are going to be, if you could tick off fatigued on your character sheet.
Yeah.
-1 to AC and saving throws, and while exploring you can't choose an exploration activity.
Yeah.
So you are kind of, yeah, very tired. Golag, you managed to sort of shake it off at the prospect of looking around.
Yeah, and like I say, I'll stop any further eating. I'll probably have a little rustle around in Igor's medical supplies to see if there's anything that I think might take the edge off of it in any way.
Sure. So why don't you give us if you're leaving you finishing up, are Golag and Basil, are you stopping eating whatever it is you're eating?
Yeah. I want to go to bed. Come on. We can do that tomorrow.
I think the fresh air would do you a world of good, Basil.
It's so foggy, okay, but just for a few minutes.
Yeah, well, we won't be long.
I yawn again on the way outside.
Well, it sounds like Dr. Earthsprung wants to bring Golag and yourself back to his room first.
Yeah, I'll take him. Yeah, I'll take him. I've just forgotten something. If you can just, I've just got to find something in my room. If you can just come with me, help me find something I was looking for earlier.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Oh, Sean, you're still muted. I can see you talking, but we can't hear you. And...
there I am. So I shake my head and I'd like to put some water on my face. I think I'm feeling the same town weariness as our small friend here. So
by all means, use the facilities in my room.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So you finish
And,
up your, as you guys pass the front desk to make your way down to the hallway to lead to Dr. Ersprung's room on the first floor, she says, have you finished up then?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Quite delightful.
Excellent cheese.
Very kind. Very kind. Oh, travel does weary one.
Yeah.
I hope you have well, you three have a very pleasant evening then, and I'll send out word to the spa first thing in the morning.
I did forget to mention I was going to pour that milk into some sort of container that I'd have kept.
What container would that
for
be?
such a? Well, I've got my all my tools on Igor. What does it say here? Let me check what it actually says. Built-in tools.
So I'm assuming you're not walking around with Igor in the lounge, right?
No.
Or the
I'd have took the cup out with me and just had it sort of up the sleeve in my hand.
Give us a thievery check then, please.
Yep. Okay. Well, it's not great at it, but let's see.
No problem.
Okay.
So you have it expertly palmed. Basil was actually fairly impressed. He maybe only notices it when you guys are talking to her that, like, holy shit, he's palmed a whole glass of milk.
And as soon as I can get him in my room and shut the door.
Sure. Have a good night, all.
Thank you.
And you all head down.
Yeah.
You bring Golag in, and now you have access to your tools. So would you like to give us a, I think a medicine roll first to see if you can find something to... That's pretty good. Okay. So take a look at the skill itself here. Let's see. Oh ho. Attempt a medicine check against the DC, the poisons DC after you attempt to treat poison for a creature. You can't try again until the next time that creature attempts a poison save. So, who are you using this on first? On Basil or on Golag?
I would have done it on Basil first just because he seemed to be suffering worse.
Sure. So you do manage to come up with something that will grant Basil a +2 bonus against his next saving throw. Okay. And would you like to do the same for Golag?
Yeah, I shall try the same. And I shall re-roll it.
Okay.
Let's see if we can do better than that.
Nice. Yeah, no problem. Once again, that's one off from a crit. Do you have anyone who could assist you with that? I guess it would be Basil because you're administering to Golag.
Yeah, I can.
At this stage, I'll explain what I'm doing. I will say, gentlemen, it looks like our host has tried to drug you with some sort of sleeping.
I could use medicine as well and try to help him.
Go ahead.
Let's see.
Come on.
Poisoned.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that means Golag, you're going to get a +4 on your next save. So
Yes.
Dr. Earthsprung gives you the... Well, I mean, I guess it probably is charcoal, pills to try and dilute the poison that you guys have consumed.
Okay, so we're going to do another fortitude save.
Not yet. It'll be probably in about an hour.
Okay.
That lady poisoned us, I say.
It seems she wants you to sleep soundly tonight.
It seems quite hard
not-
to poison the cheese. What barbaric person would do such a thing?
What did the cheese ever do to anyone?
She seems so kindly. Can't trust anyone these days.
Everyone around here seems kindly. I think we need to do some investigation. whilst it's foggy and hopefully no one will see us.
I'm recalling that I wonder if that Inquisitor had a pretty big bowl of that stew at some time. Of course, he was staying at the other place, but something similar, perhaps.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All places are the same, maybe. Okay, but can't we do that tomorrow? Come on, guys.
Snap 2.
I'm sure you'll shake it off, Basil, after I've given you this.
I'm looking forward to the Nat 1 where you guys find Basil asleep in a corner. Oh, shit. All right. So then, what would you guys like to do next?
So what sort of time is it now, and what sort of time did they lock up, did she say?
Well, it's summertime and the sun went down, so it's probably 9 o'clock-ish, and then the fog came in, and then you sat down for a late meal. It's probably 10 o'clock-ish, so it is dark outside. And as advertised, if you bring any light up to the window, you see nothing but like wispy white, or a wispy white curtain outside.
Are the windows big enough for us to climb out of? Or
They are, yeah.
then maybe we should go and have a look at and I'll be saying this in a quiet voice, maybe we should go and have a look at the church further.
Yeah.
And open
Couldn't
the
we
window.
just sleep 2 hours and then we go to the church?
Basil, we'll sleep when we get back.
Buck up, Basil, buck up. The hunt is afoot.
Everyone gets a hero point too. Then,
And I am splashing water on my large orcish face.
okay. So
No.
I think perhaps Igor may have a like a kind of an atomizer. You feel better. All right. You feel like those tablets that Dr. Ersprung put together for you. They may, you know, they may be of assistance. So then, how do you guys wish to, apart from opening the window, stepping outside, what is the plan then? It's as the locals indicated, it is very, very thick fog. So you can see maybe 10 feet in front of you.
We'll have to stick close.
Yeah, you just need to get clear of the inn, just so that our host doesn't know that we've left. I'll push the window up but not close it, obviously, because we're outside.
Why don't you each, give us a stealth check, please?
I knew that was coming.
Igor is staying here, yes? He may have difficulty getting out the window.
Yeah, I think we'd leave him here.
Okay.
So
Nat
this
20
is-
from Golag, though, man.
Oleg feels the hunt is afoot. He's excited.
So that right now you have a median at 19. Anyone want to spend a hero point and re-roll anything?
Right, mine ain't gonna get any better than
Yeah, I
90.
could- yeah, come on. I'm spending a point. I mean, this would be. I think I can't be worse than Adam, but
Yeah.
there is always a possibility to do.
There you
24
go.
now.
Pretty good. All right. So with that good of a roll, you certainly could take Igor with you if you'd like. Like he doesn't have mechanically, like we've got the illustration of him, and we have him. I think our ideas in our mind of what he looks like too. But mechanically, he's got no penalties for moving around. He doesn't. He's a certain weight, but he's not prevented from doing anything. So, what this tells us is you could find some way. And it could very well be a steam, picture him moving forward, moving his torso up onto the thing and then having his legs go up and over his head and then pull himself forward and kind of drop outside. Like there's certainly ways that we can have him still participate. In particular, if he's trained in stealth as well.
Yeah, he's good at stealth. So yeah, okay, yeah. If we can bring him along, then I will.
Sure.
Do.
I think if I sit on his head, I might be even able to sleep while he's walking. So I think we should definitely.
He does have a boiler on his back, so you're going to want to be careful what you roll onto. Why don't you give us a stealth roll for Igor, then, please?
Okay.
Okay. So 18. That means we don't really have a median in the middle, so I'll average those two. That gives you a 21, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay.
21's pretty good. Yeah. So you guys are all outside, and then where do you wish to go next? I'll have one of you be the navigator for this. You can give us a survival check, or you can give us a perception check. This is not going to be a very hard task. It's really only if you roll comically poorly that you'll get yourself lost. Because of, in this particular case, it's one block downhill, right? Navigating elsewhere in the town will be a little more challenging.
So Adam already, did that. Okay. Oh no, there was a stealth check. So yeah, but you could, if you have survival or perception, otherwise I could jump in, but I'm a little bit tired. So Adam, you know the way.
I mean, I can give it a go. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm happy to give it a go. Perception. Not very good at it though.
That's still good enough. Again, it's you're just having to go downhill, really. So
Okay.
To find the church is not hard. And you guys do hear some. I think you hear someone walking in the fog at one point. You were able to pull yourself to the side and kind of stay off the road. Doesn't sound like they come near you, but whoever they are now walking away from you. And you're able to make your way down towards the church itself. And what you can see looming out of the fog as you get in is the big church, the side of it itself, or maybe the corner, and one of those big stained glass windows, black inside. But you guys can make out detail, because I think each of you now has dark vision. So, having reached...
I think we... Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I would just try to open the lock. I think it was locked.
Yeah.
Maybe it still is.
So you make your way to the front. Take it, Basil, you've taken your thieves' tools with you.
Yes.
Or burglar's tools, I think, is more appropriate for Paridar. Go ahead and give us a thievery check. Or burglary check, I guess. Oh, boy.
Ooh.
You want to hero point that?
Yes, obviously. And I can't get worse now, so that's...
Yeah. You hit rock bottom. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. So you make your way up there, and as you know, it takes you all of about maybe 2 seconds. That, like, your tools are barely in there by the time it's unlocked. So the front door to this chapel is now unlocked. What you can tell from last time too, this is it's a very old chapel. Like, it is built of a lot of fairly rough-hewn stone that's been mortared together to make this thing. It's likely been here for centuries. There are modern kind of amendments or changes that have been made to it, but and again, the some of the panes of glass seem to have been recently replaced. But it's not a very big structure. You're going to lead into sort of a foyer, then into the kind of the chapel itself, where sermons and whatnot would be given, and then in the back there will be the offices and the accommodations of the local priest. So this is unlocked. What do you wish to do next?
Wow. Let's see what's in here. Is there any lights on? Any signs of anyone actually living within the church itself?
Well, those are two different things. There are no lights on, but you'd have to probably go. I mean, there are signs that where, like, there are, relatively recent, papers and whatnot that have been set out here.
Yeah.
So
we're going in the front though, so the back would probably be where there'd be any accommodation if there was.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. But there's no lights on that we can see.
no lights
so-
on. No.
Okay.
Hmm.
Right. Well, let's head in and have a look around.
Okay. You all
All
make
right.
your way in, close the door behind you, and you're able to lock it once again, Basil, if you choose to, or you're going to leave it unlocked.
I think we would leave it unlocked in order to flee if it is necessary.
Okay. So then what do you wish to do next? You're in the foyer area. There is a chapel beyond I'm sure there is a word for it. I just don't know what it is.
Narthex.
The which?
Narthex, the Navis, which is the ship of the church where
okay.
you have all the...
Yeah. So that.
So from a sort of engineering crafting point of view, I want to have a look at these windows.
Sure.
Golag was interested, so.
So if you take a look at them, why don't you give us a crafting check, please?
Okay.
Okay. It's as you suspected. They are fairly recently made, and it seems stained glass is one of those things that it is, it's a specialized craft. It's not something that just anybody or any town can kind of put together. So it appears as if this is something that has been likely crafted elsewhere and shipped here, but it means that someone had the money in order to put this together, because it's not a cheap thing. What this might be is further evidence of the newfound wealth of this community.
But it looks normal. Nothing out of the normal with it, with its materials or anything.
Yeah, there's no unusual crafting. There's no unusual materials. From strictly a assembly perspective, it's what you'd expect from, stained glass.
The question is, why did they have it replaced? Was it to remove the images on the glass? Has it got images, or is it? It has got a picture.
Yeah.
And what's that picture?
These are all similar to the one. It's all stuff depicting the driving of those creatures into the sea and the collapse of the keep. Same stuff as you saw before, although they are a bit unnerving from this side, because it's stained glass is put together with the idea of being looked at from either side and looking fine, but from inside here, there's just something odd about it. There's something off about the angles. It shouldn't be, it shouldn't be unusual from this one side. And one of the things, you rolled well enough, so you certainly would know this too, but like these types of artisans, one of the things they typically do is hold them up to the mirror to spot any imperfections. What you can miss on initial drawing, if you hold it up to a mirror or you somehow flip it over, you can then readily see like, oh fuck, like that just doesn't look right. It's kind of like that, but you can't point to what it is about this that is unnerving from this side.
Is there any skills that Golag can shed any light on in this situation?
Golag says, Stage whispers, what do you have there, Doctor? What do you see?
These windows, they look fairly normal, but there's something, I just can't put my finger on it. It just doesn't seem right looking at it from this side.
Let me have a look.
Mm-hmm.
And I will go over, and if I can be of any assistance, I will try to identify something odd if I can.
Why don't you give us an occultism check, please?
All right.
Holy smokes. So you're looking at this, and yeah.
It doesn't have pictures of Golag with his shirt off, though.
No, it does not.
Okay.
And in fact, it is in no way close to the almost empowering feeling you get looking at that portrait of yourself. What this is, you're looking at this stuff, and it's so weird. you for whatever reason, you just think like, oh, you take your goggles, which you've idly stuffed in your pocket, and you head over to where there is a small vestibule of water near the entrance. You fill it up, and then you place your second lens over to keep the water in there. And when you look at it, distorted through the lens and the water, oh my, like it's the same view, but there's a hidden level of mastery that the native eye cannot capture from this side. But with that watery lens through it, you see, wow, there is hidden qualities in here that just can't be picked up from a non-distorted lens. Although perhaps you're just either viewing it from a limited perspective, or your vision is the distorted version. If you hand it over to Dr. Ersprung and you look through, this is precisely like, holy shit, this is exactly what, like it's almost replicating what you would see by viewing it underwater, where there is a distortion of light and vision through the medium.
There's something unnatural about this, Dr. Ersprung. I concur and will confirm.
There's
Look here.
You have heard too of tales, Golag, of the kinds of cults. And perhaps this is something you looked into when Sally first brought to you tales of the Seven Sages of Sorrow. And you looked at some tales of far-off sailors and whatnot, because there are visions, there are strange religions and beliefs and cults and, unmentionable devils that sailors will encounter in the course of their travels, to whom they may offer prayers for safety or offer, certain things. There are markings in these, in this lens that you're seeing. If the moonlight passed through this at some point, or perhaps at certain times of day through a certain vision, you can see the visions that you're seeing right now, which is to say that there are symbols in the that are hidden or concealed in the markings of the crusaders driving these things into the sea, that seem to have a distinctly what would be the word? Unwelcoming quality to them. These are the kinds of markings that sailors, driven mad by alien faiths, or who spent too long, under the water and were thought to have died, or lost at sea in a storm and offered prayers up. These are the kinds of symbols that they might get tattooed on themselves, or adopt as a moniker, or, carve on the flesh of themselves or their victims in the case of piracy. These are ancient symbols. Well,
a bit of a warding kind of a maybe.
Warding involves some kind of protection. This is more like markings of an allegiance. It is definitely not of the heavenly host.
Certainly heresy here, Doctor. I'm sure that Inquisitor, this is probably what that Inquisitor was looking for.
Depending on how you define heresy, if by heresy you mean unconventional doctrine, then this is not that. This is hiding prayers to a separate god, and that's not even the right word for it. A separate devil.
Elder entity, maybe.
Precisely. within this. So yes, it may be heretical in the sense of there's changes to doctrine, but this may be a facade to offer secret allegiance to some other power.
Okay. So
Would Basil, Dr. Earthsprung, and Golag each give us a perception check, please?
yes, sure. Oh, no, I'm too tired.
Yeah. In fact, you know what? With that nat 1, why don't you give us a fortitude save at +2? Remember, don't put the plus sign in. +2, Basil. Let's see if you can shake off that.
Yeah.
And Golag, you are in the darkness right now. Why don't you give us your second fortitude save now, too?
All right.
I think maybe he's sitting on a bench already and is sleeping.
Yeah.
And I have +4, right, Kevin?
You have plus
I think I
4,
remember.
correct. Yeah, don't put the plus sign in. But, so Basil, that's actually a fail. Golag, you succeeded. So,
Yeah, I think I will re-roll. Come on.
Okay.
I have 1 hero point left. So.
okay. For now, 8 minutes, you get your next one.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Nat 20.
nat 20.
So this is, the surest sign that Basil is a workaholic is that he is, when he was feeling lethargic before, his attention on a mystery at hand is suddenly enough to prompt razor focus, or razor sharp focus on the question. And I think that will allow you to give a re-roll for your perception at the same time too, Basil.
That's a 20.
Then it is Dr. Earthsprung. You hear the sound of someone trying to open the door. You guys have moved into the large area where all those things are. You can hear the sound of footsteps, the creaking of footsteps as the door has been swung open. And
Is that the front door?
the front door that you guys came through,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
You're the first to have heard that. What do you do? Basil and Golag are both staring up at this thing, and perhaps they're passing the lens with the water in it back and forth.
And we're in the main sort of church hall
Yeah.
with the,
And you picture there's
the
probably like-
pews and things.
Yeah, like 8 rows of pews leading up to the pulpit, and then there's a podium where the priest would deliver sermons, and then behind there it would be leading to the back of the church.
Yeah, so I'll sort of put my hands on either side and try and sort of push them down and whisper to them, sounds like someone's coming. And I should try and sort of gesture them down so that we can maybe get some cover from the pews and get Igor to do the same.
Sure. Why don't you all give us a stealth check, please?
Oh, there we go.
Let's see if I... Again, we'll take the median with
Jesus.
this as well. Did I load? Uh-oh, that didn't sound good. Anyone want to... How do we get that? Oh, boy. Okay, so 4, a 31, a 20, and a 14. So that puts us at a... What is that?
17? Is it?
17 is the
17,
average?
Yes.
Anyone want to spend any hero points to re-roll?
I don't have any left. So.
You
Let's
roll an
see.
11 go like, so you do have room to improve on that. Dr. Earthsprung, you rolled a
Yeah.
4, so you certainly have room to improve too, although it's the middle one is the one that's going to help.
Yes, go Lugor.
So yeah, I would be the person, but I don't have any. I'm out of luck here. So this
Well,
is,
Golag could drag it up if he increased these, I suppose.
Sure.
If.
Okay. Nope.
19, okay. So then, like, bear with me 2 moments here. I'm trying to find...
16 or 17, I guess.
Yeah, we'll round up for you guys.
17. So it didn't change his thing.
Yeah,
So
I use my reaction to
that's-
throw you a bone.
yeah.
Let's see, I'm trying to remember where I loaded the... 'cause I think I loaded an image I need here. At the same time, we loaded start of this adventure. Which I think... no, certainly, but after that... Here it is. Oh, and I didn't. Madison, come on, man.
Oh.
All right, so I have to take a look at Pathfinder and see if they've got something for me here. Actually, I have an idea. Awesome. Okay. My penchant for this type of thing pays off. It's like when I need to search for an owlbear. I can guarantee I'll find at least 4 fucking pictures of owlbears in here. So, so it is... Dr. Ursprung who first sees something step through, and they look a little like this. There are 3 that step in, and the thing is these things have, for one, I think a color of skin very similar to what you see there. But they're armed with the types of tools that you would expect a very traditional or low-tech society to have. The vicious-looking spears look incredibly effective and quite big, but they like to look to have been made from, if not natural materials like bone or coral, then they seem to be made from or like, you know, woven seaweed. They're made with very, very simplistic or not simplistic, that is not very low tech versions of tools. There are 2 of them that step in that are moving quite quietly. Like it's a sign that of how stealthy these things are, that neither Basil nor Golag spotted them. But as they step in, they look around and they look at one another. There isn't a word that is spoken. You don't see their lips move. But they both seem to nod, and then they turn and move back out.
I think we should leave now through the opposite direction.
Yeah, you think they're going for reinforcements?
Oh, I see 2 on mine. Sean, sometimes there's finicky things. What I can do, let me see if I can fix it. I'll show
Yeah,
you.
my token is also broken. It does not adjust the hero points.
Yeah, that fixed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a strange thing that comes up sometimes. That's always fun when we're in the middle of a fight. We got a bunch of tokens and people's health are being adjusted, and they're like, it's not matching up.
Right. Yeah, they may be going for reinforcements, eh?
Everyone gets a hero point, by the way. Anna says you'll need it.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys do?
Are there any other doors, did you say, Kevin, besides the front door?
Oh, hold up. You guys can also give us a... Ooh, what would it be? I think it would be Arcana.
Everyone makes a Arcana?
Yeah. Or, you know what? Fuck it. Let's make it Occultism. Okay. I mean, if it's the same for you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, mine's exactly
it's the same. Yeah, it's the same.
Okay.
But nevertheless,
Okay.
I don't know anything today.
So this is well, that's still a pretty good roll, though. What both Golag and Dr. Earthsprung you recognize. Partly because, I mean, you've been looking into, I think, again, like since the 7 Stages of Sorrow thing from last Christmas, or shortly around that time, or Yule, I should say, you have looked and been looking into like what potential things there are, like what legends are there about the things of the deep. Both of you have come across, this is something that Sally may have corroborated as well. There is, in the deep, many different species that make their home in the depths of the ocean, some deeper down than others. Anna is just so worried for you. What these are, they're sailors call them sea devils. Creatures that prey on surface vessels, sometimes having 2 arms, sometimes having 4 arms. But there is another word that the Sally's people from the benthic depths have for them, and they are the Shawagan. Sea devils are vicious, territorial. Picture a combination of merfolk and sharks, and you will have an idea of who these things are and what their willingness to feed is, what their primal drive is. They are many things, but you did roll quite well, Golag. You've never heard of them being crafty in the sense of, setting traps or whatnot. They are devilishly clever hunters, so they can be clever, but they are not crafty in the sense of like stalking and following and whatnot. They are more a matter of, if there is an opportunity to feed, they will attack. Not suicidally, they can be quite clever, but you've never heard of them using deception. They are a threat in the same way that, like, any other predator of the deep ocean might be. So both you know this.
Did all of us see them, or just...
Yes, Dr. Earthsprung was the first to see them, but then the other two of you could see these things poke their head in and then turn around and make their way out.
Seems unusual that they would retreat unless they... What I think, Kevin, would I have a sense that of whether they would think they were at disadvantage? I mean, they were outnumbered. Are they powerful enough typically to think they have the advantage, or that they're a disadvantage for being outnumbered?
Well, the sense you get is that they didn't see you. And if what you're thinking is, well, why would they not have come in here? That's a reasonable question.
Yeah.
Because we have the bigger evil inside already.
Lurking behind you, a giant abyssal, version of a gibbering mouther.
Perhaps.
Hold on, I'm just going to write that down because that sounds like a great thing to use on someone else.
Easy, GM, easy.
I've already hit my high water mark with gibbering mouther rain in Eberron, so I think I've done all I can with that monster.
Nice. I wonder if they cannot enter the church. It's one possibility. If that is the case, then why were they looking in it? Didn't seem like they detected us. So what was their purpose in this? In what we saw?
If they're used to finding the door locked, would that not have confused them as well?
Oh, a fair point.
Question is, why should they try the door when it's normally locked?
Yes.
So, but nevertheless, wasn't there some kind of priest quarters or something? If we go further to the back,
Yep.
we should do that.
Maybe quickly.
Yes.
Okay.
Bound to be a back door.
So, why don't you, the four of you, give us another round of stealth checks? Let's see how everybody does. Pretty good there, Golag.
Oh.
Whatever the opposite of that is, Dr. Ishrung. You want to hear point that there, Doctor? Crit fails are unfortunately crit fails.
Yeah. I'm just thinking I need to do both potentially.
Well, right now, as long as you get rid of that crit fail, there's not another penalty there. That puts your median at, what, 38? So, 17?
Yeah.
Is that right?
It's 28, isn't it? Because it's got Igor as well.
No, so 38 is right.
Yeah, because it's the middle two are 13.
38
15.
would be 19.
Yeah, 15 plus 23. Right, it's 38 divided by 2 is 18, I guess, right?
19.
Oh,
19.
yes.
19.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
lawyer, not an accountant. So
Yeah. I studied math for years to know that.
your time to shine.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, 18 is your median right now. Are you satisfied with that?
I could try. I think I'm going to increase. I'm going to try Igor's one. That's
Okay.
the one, isn't it?
Sure. Look at that. So that is like a 23 is your median then. So that's, or 24 because you round up. So that's pretty fucking good. Yeah. So you're able to make your way to the back and you're able to inspect. You can tell which is the office for the priest and which is the residence for the priest. Which would you like to inspect?
Maybe the residence?
Okay.
I think that's more likely to have a door, I thought.
I think, we could look at both, maybe. I mean,
Sure.
they're close to each other, I suppose.
2 and 2? Or
Yeah, well, I could just inspect the office and maybe find something like a journal or so. Just
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you check Golag, Dr. Earthsprung, would you each give us a perception check, please? Basil, you're able to access the office with no difficulty. Golag, you can hear the sound of someone sleeping inside that room. If you stop and listen at the door, there's a sound of someone sleeping inside the priest's quarters.
I'm with the doctor.
You're with the doctor, correct?
It's inside. Presumably the priest.
Okay. Let's wait to see what Basil finds in case there's a door in there.
Okay. Basil, you're able to make your way into the office of the priest, and there's, in order to do a proper search of here, it's going to take you some time. Like it's, you can imagine the amount of paperwork that piles up when, you know, it's a parish church that has been operating for, you know, well over a century. Why don't you give us let's see here. You can give us a perception check, though. Let's see if there's anything that stands out.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. I was just checking. I thought there was something like a quick search feed, but I don't know.
Oh, that you have? One. Yeah.
I only have this out of the odd, so if something is really, really weird. So it's 21.
21, all right. So you search around, and there is, I think what you find nestled in, what stands out is that there is something made of, on the I think it'd be on his desk, there is some kind of odd, it's a rock, but it's designed in some way. It's almost like it's an amulet or a medallion without the attached, you know, string or whatever, or chain to it. It seems to be made of a very unusual, almost glass-like substance. When you touch it, it absorbs. It's cool the way metal is in relation to ambient temperature.
I think I would just put it in a handkerchief and just put it in my pocket, and then look. So we were looking for an exit. So maybe there's a door here or something.
There is at the back of the chapel. It's sort of back around away from the main road, but there is a back way out of here. That's sort of between the two, the office and the bedroom.
Yeah, so I would go back to the others and open the back door then, if that is locked.
I think you maybe meet them. They're a couple feet. They're at like equidistant between the two things. You meet the two of them there, and they can tell you that there is someone sleeping in there.
Yeah. I try to open the door quietly.
Sure. You open the door quietly. I think what's more.
Is it locked? That is the.
It is not. It is locked. So you will need to unlock it and step out. But more to the point, when you step outside, what you hear is the sound of. First, the sound of shifting feet. Someone like sort of quickly shifting their stance on some kind of gravel. And then the sound of hurried footsteps away and into the fog. And this is all when you're sort of slowly pushing the door open.
Okay. So I didn't have to roll. I just picked the lock.
Yeah, I rolled quite poor. No doubt. Yeah, definitely. You're not even going to need to pick the lock. It's on this side of the door, so there is a latch probably.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then we'll get out, and I just whisper that there's someone has run away.
I wonder if it is the what was the proper name that Golag knew for them? If he knew a proper name for the yes,
the Shawagan.
Oh, Shawagan. Perhaps it was the Shawagan again. Did it seem like footsteps, or did it seem like flaps? Did they have feet, Kevin? Do we know?
Shawagan? Yeah,
they have long, like flappy,
almost like imagine like a frogman's flippers, or a scuba diver's flippers, but where you could properly articulate them and move them around and walk on them.
Did it sound like flippers, Basil?
I don't think it sounded like they were shoveling the.
Yeah, you can give us a perception check for that if you'd like. Yeah. Thus far you haven't yet, but you haven't turned your mind to that.
Okay. No.
Can't tell.
No.
It did sound like they were on gravel though, and what you find is unlike the cobblestone road, there is a gravel path leading away from this door and then kind of around the structure back to the main house, or to the what do you call it? There's an alleyway out here, and then there is a small path leading to the front of the church.
So look at the footprints, maybe.
Ah, indeed.
If you make your way over, you can give us a survival check.
Okay.
You or me?
You heard it, so maybe,
I think you're actually trained in it, though, aren't you, Goleg?
I am. I was just
I
trying to
think
be.
Tracking is one of those things that's skilled only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In which case, I brush you aside and.
Let an expert handle this.
Right. Yeah.
Or me, or
Yeah.
You do it. You do it, Vassal. You do it.
No, I'm not better, and I would not say anything. Just
well, it's also it's a matter of tracking. I think is a skill. Are you skilled in survival?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Ignore me then. Okay. So yeah, neither of those are. Do you guys want to spend any hero points?
Sure.
Okay.
Man. There we go. Better.
So
Ooh,
Golag,
yes.
you make your way over and you crouch down, and while there's definitely a point where it turns and they seem to run across the grass because of the moisture in the air, you can see where they've crossed the grass and then back onto the path and made their way down towards the front of the church. It's exactly what you would imagine of I'm trying to remember how tall these things are. Of like a 7-foot tall shark man turning on its flippers and racing away from the sound of a door opening. With that good of a roll, you can follow it for some distance as well.
What do you think? Let's follow.
Yes.
So with this, you're able to follow these down. It is heading back down the
sea.
Yeah, back down the road in the direction of both the harbor and the Bishop's College. So if you follow it down to the base of the stairs or base of the hill, you can picture, let me get the little pointer thing here. You're probably around here right now. You figure. Or maybe on the other side of this building here, so probably like right there-ish. And it seems to continue off in this direction.
The tracks.
Yeah. And there is some sound from the Bishop's College Tavern as well.
All right. The tracks aren't going towards the Bishop's College, is it?
Nope.
No.
Do you follow them as far as they go?
I think we should.
Yeah.
Once they reach here, it's almost a beeline down to the harbor. Oh, actually, what it does is it goes here, and it cuts down along the wall down here, and then into the ocean.
Look at those waypoints. Nice. Yeah, going for the water. Predictable.
So you get yourself down there, and you can picture how strange it would feel to be at the edge of that, and you can only see at most 10 feet around you. It's almost like you're in a white bubble of fog. The weird sound is muffling the sound of water lapping up against either side here. Whatever's here, you can see its footprints seem to go, or the tracks seem to go directly down into the water and deep into that. You can only see 10 feet out from where you're standing, and the water is pitch black.
Yeah. Let's go back. No chance of following them.
Yes.
Almost to encourage it, you hear a splash. Something is in that water.
Although I will say I've been practicing my swimming, but I know you're right. They'd have too much of an advantage over at the
so well with the Kelpie.
Over at the Paridar Orc Climbing and Swimming Club.
Yes. The Paridar YMCA.
Yeah, I've spent time there since I tore those trousers.
I guess it's
loved.
the YOCA. And I guess it wouldn't be Christian. So it would be the YOHHA, the Young Orc Heavenly Host Association.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I mean,
a
I
very
took
long
the
walk to that
underwater
joke.
marauder feature to be able to fight underwater. So that's
Nice. So you hear that splash off in the darkness, definitely beyond your view. What do you guys do?
Anything else for us to do tonight?
yeah. I got something we could investigate, but I think we should make our way back to the inn where we were staying.
I mean, I'm wondering if there's something we should be expecting tonight since they drugged us. Is it just to keep us in place? It seems unlikely, doesn't it? That there's something, whether they meant to do us no good or
Yeah, or actually beware us from harm. I thought I know. Yeah, help us, support us. I don't know. Maybe we will see.
I mean, I would suspect that those creatures were here for something, and I don't know that they were here for us necessarily. It doesn't seem so. Like, if they were here for us, they would come visit the inn, not the church. I don't think they did.
I have an idea why they are maybe here, but let's go somewhere where we can investigate that.
Well, legends do say that sharks can scent things from a very, very far off distance.
Mm-hmm.
And while your vision will not let you see through the fog.
Yeah. So I have this stone here, and I think they're coming for that one.
Coming for what? A stone, you said?
Yes, I think it's a magical stone, but we can't see here, and we are too close to the water. Let's get back off here.
Sounds good.
So, why don't you decide who is navigating back and either make a survival or a perception check, please. Should not be hard once you find that hill.
Yeah. Who wants to?
Who has hero points left, I guess.
I was gonna say,
I'll give it a run.
Perception, like.
Yeah.
An expert in perception, and I do have hero points left, so I seem to be reasonable.
Okay.
There we go.
That's no problem. You are able to make your way back to the four of you, back to the shore gate arms with no difficulty. You will have an opportunity to talk about what you want to do as far as the drugged thing.
We should get a discount for that, I would think.
But it's something that hopefully you'll be able to discuss with your aquatic companion, because we are out of time. So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for the latest session in our ongoing campaign, the Spires of Paridar. Feels good to be back at this campaign as well. I think we're officially back at all of our campaigns from the vacation. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I will endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There is also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where we have a channel dedicated to this campaign, every other campaign we run on the channel, as well as Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and a couple other there's a ton of great channels over there with some terrific, there's a bunch of channels over there with some terrific people on them. A very helpful and friendly and welcoming community has built up over the past few years. You are more than welcome to join us over there. Plenty of room for more musers. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have a terrific selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs. If they don't have something in stock where that is listed there, you can often put it on a want list, and then they'll send you an email when it comes in. And if you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, be sure to enter the code SUMMERMUSER, all one word, all caps, and you'll save yourself 10% on your purchase. There's also, if you're listening to this at another time, that code changes fairly often. So, well, every 3 or 4 months. So if you're listening to this at a later time, check on one of our more recent videos and you'll find what the current discount code is. There's also a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, really amazing organization, active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children, including ongoing relief efforts in Ukraine and the surrounding countries at the time of recording. All donations through that link go directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel or any other middleman. It just goes to benefit the kids who benefit from their services. As a small way of saying thank you, if you've donated $10 or more since June 1st, 2023, you will have a chance to vote on the remaining 2 sessions of our year-long Year of Ill Omens campaign. We've had 4 sessions that have been shaped by the donors thus far. They've been voting on what era we're playing in, what location, what kinds of heroes we're playing, what game we're using, and what connections there have been between the different campaign or different adventures. Our last session saw us in Cold War era Berlin. Our next one will either be the modern day or perhaps in the medieval era. So I'm going to put up voting for that later on today, I think. We'll get the voting rolling on that, and we'll be playing that at the end of September. In addition, if you donate $25 or more, you'll have a chance to win the grand prize or one of the other great prizes in our next charity raffle. The last thing I will say is an enormous thank you to our stalwart illuminators. So Sean, Ingolf, and Darren, thank you so much for joining me today. And for James, we hope you are having a wonderful vacation. Very much in keeping with the theme of his character, the first thing he posted was him dining on a bunch of oysters. So he's keeping the role-playing going. Even though he is on vacation, James, we hope you're having a lovely time. We'll be back on the shore or on the lovely vacation town of Dag-on-the-Sea in 2 weeks' time. But until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our stalwart illuminators are uncovering in this lovely and certainly not troubling vacation town of Dag-on-the-Sea. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.